Hello, everybody. I'm live. Let's see what I'm doing here. Let's talk about everything. A lot of action going on out there in the real world. Seems like people are talking about cheating. People are talking about buyouts, layoffs, white-collar recession, the printing industry. We got a bunch of stuff going on. Okay. Okay, nobody's up so far. So let's see what's happening here. We have my channel. We got the plus. We're going live. Okay. How you doing, everybody? What's going on? What can I help you with? Any questions? What's going on in your transition? Okay. You're from Poland. Poland. Yeah. Love you, men. Have you drank Polish? No, I'm not a drinker. My mother's Polish, 100% Polish. And I'm one of 11 children, so that's pretty cool. Let's see here. What transitions are you people in? Are you looking for personal growth? What are you looking for? Personal career? Are you working with UPS? You working with USPS? You going through a divorce? You looking to go through a divorce? Are you happy in life? Oh boy. Okay. All right. So, all right, let me see here. You're not happy? Why aren't you happy? Because you're in Poland? Or you're unhappy in your career or your life? Let me see here. Add as my. Okay. Why are you not happy? Okay. My question is, why aren't you happy? Huh? You said hi, how's it going? The listener, how you doing? What are you looking for, people? You looking for happiness? You looking for parenting skills? Career skills? Okay, how you doing? I'm good. I'm good. I'm trying to figure out this live. I'm getting a little anxiety because I'm trying to be perfect, but I'm on a computer, but at the same time, I'm on the phone because I can't figure it out yet. You know what I mean? So, but otherwise, I'm happy. Hey, thanks for a like. I appreciate it. Appreciate it a lot. You know, this isn't easy because there's so much stuff going on TikTok and YouTube, and, you know, it's just, you know, let me ask, what are your generations? Are you baby boomers or millennials or what? Who listens to me? Who listens to me? I'm going to be a star? Hey, I'm 71 years old. I don't need to be a star. You know what I mean? How you doing, kid? How you doing? Um, like I said, I get a little nervous about getting on here, but I'm really trying to solve anybody's problems or answers or give them inspiration or education or, you know, it's advice that I've been through. Oh, man, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm not looking for vanity or pride. Don't let my sisters know. I'm one of 11 kids. I get a lot of critiques by my brothers and sisters. Hey, big boy, okay. You're stranded on an island with no animals. Get some protein? Send some help? Not a joke. Oh, man. You know, people from Poland saying you're drinking vodka. I don't know if vodka's going to help you. Yeah, Poland's expensive. Are you a native of Poland? And what part of Poland are you? Chicago? No, my parents are from Chicago, and they moved to Minneapolis, St. Paul, let's call it St. Paul, Minnesota, in 1947 or so, 46, 47. And I was born in 54 in St. Paul, and I was in St. Paul till I was 49. And then I moved to Florida, West Palm Beach, and I've been here for 23 years now. A movie casino? Okay. What to do when you're stuck in a different universe? I don't know. You got to create something. If you're an inventor, if you're an idea person, I'm an idea person, so I'm always thinking. I'm always thinking about something. But I'm always trying to solve problems, and I want to be happy and healthy. As you get older, once you achieved a lot, I was always someone that had goals, long-term goals. And I tried to achieve those goals. So that might help. It might help is what's next. As I mentioned, I'm closer to being 80 than I am 70. So I'm trying to think, what am I going to do over the next 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, and so on. Yeah, I try to be a healer. I've been, what should I say? People have really helped me over my career, and it feels really good when I could give back, because most of my mentors have passed away. I started at a young age asking a lot of questions, and that's why I was hoping live would help, because there's a lot of people that talk on YouTube and respond on TikTok, but you know what? It's not deep. And I'm a serious guy, and I'm serious about helping other people because I know what it's like to be in trouble. One thing my father would say, I'm one of 11, as I mentioned. My father mentioned to me over the years that if you're looking for trouble, you'll find it. And that's so true. Look about this weekend. Look at the people that are in trouble, and it's all over the world on TikTok and YouTube for cheating or for doing the wrong things. And people laugh about this. It's not funny, man. And if you ruin, it's not only your personal reputation and your value system, it's the families. If you're looking for trouble and you find it, it's buried into your life, into your integrity. No one could trust you again. No one could trust you. And I've been in the business for 50 years, and it's all down to trust. Trust, transparency. Keep your promises. Why don't people keep their promises? I don't get it. you know? And it could be family, it could be business, it could be the local grocery store. And there's so much shit going on out there. Hola, hola, hola. Okay, hola. Okay, thank you. Appreciate it, man. Vasquez, my relatives, I got Mexican bilingual relatives, my nephews and my nieces. That's the other beautiful thing. My parents have over 115 descendants. My father's 100 years old. I don't speak any other languages but LaManna-isms. It's my last name. Yes, I do. I try to. Now you make me feel emotional. Yeah, I do have a golden soul. I wish everybody thought that because I'm serious about it, you know? So, but how can I help, answer your issues? You know? How can I answer questions for you? Because I feel like not only have I been lucky, I've been very blessed with my family and my life, you know? I've been really fortunate. And a lot of it is because I kept my integrity. And my parents, I call it the foundation. I had a great foundation. Brought up with parents that were solid, you know? Stayed together, committed, loyal, faithful, have a strong faith, believed in God, believed in the 10 Commandments. We were raised on the 10 Commandments. Sure, we broke them. But you know what? You go back to them. You go back to them and there's guilt, there's shame, there's sin. Yeah. The UK, wow. You know what? There's many times I felt like a king. And that's when I got in trouble. When you start thinking that you're bigger than life and you are the king and you make all the decisions, not good. You got to be humble. Humble, modest, giving, sharing, thankful, grateful. How you doing, kid? Hi, Sarah. All right, now what's going on? I want to know. I want to talk serious. I can't just be goofing around. First of all, I'm trying to learn this, okay? I have no clue in a way what I'm doing, but my marketer, Anna, she keeps telling me, Rock, you're just communicating with people as if you're on a bench talking to people. In fact, some of my buddies say, Rock, I like your videos because it's like you're right next to me talking to me. Well, I'm trying to give advice, good advice. Because I've been strategic all my life. So it's very difficult to kind of outthink situations because if you're not trusting or people are trying to take advantage of you, you got to think it through, you know? Am I a preacher? No. I'm a sinner. And I do go to church. I'm a Catholic. My confessions are personal, though. I don't go to a priest usually. I did go to Mass the other day because my mother passed away on July 19th, 2020. And so I always think of her every day, and I just put a little quick video out there about what she taught me. So it was a special time. And I'm number 5 of the 11 kids, and my mother never treated us as a group, as a tribe. It was always individual. And you got to remember, my mom named me Rock, and she fought for my name when I was baptized in 1954. So I was almost not named my name because the priest objected, disputed that there was no Saint Rock. And she started crying and she fought for my name and she got my name. I hated my name. Okay, fair enough, huh? Catholic, Irish, English, like to meet. My father's 100% first generation Italian. My mother, 100% first generation Polish. That's called a mixed marriage back in the 40s. And you know what? They kept their faith very strong Catholics, 11 kids. 11 kids. My mother was pregnant 12 times. How much would it cost for you to get on the floor and bark like a dog? Nah, that's not me. That's not me. I wouldn't, it's not a, that's funny. Never had that question, okay? Okay, thank you. Rude? You mean the comment or my comment? Okay. So, make Canada great again. Isn't Canada great now? They're fighting for everything. You know, they're negotiating. And by the way, I went to Canada when I was like 10, 11 years old, play hockey. Got our ass kicked. Minnesotans, we were Americans, of course, and they were trying to teach us a lesson, and they did. And by the way, when we drove up there to Thunder Bay to play hockey over a weekend, that's when we were exposed to these hockey players, soon to be junior A. And you know what they were doing at 12, 13 years old that we weren't doing? They were smoking, drinking, partying. And I was like, holy shit, this is outside our value system. And don't tell my parents. So it's kind of funny. Great hockey teams, you know. Okay, your granddad, Christian, grandmother, Irish, yeah. My brother married an Irish girl, and it's a beautiful thing. They had 4 boys. They have 4 boys. And Irish are tough, man. Okay. You're trying to rage baiting me? Hey, listen, you're not going to bait me. I'm baiter. I'm the one that stirs shit up, you know? Look at me. Do you think that I've taken a beating? I know how to give it back, you know? I kind of drive people to excel. Some people don't like it, though. They don't like it. Yeah. Okay. How you doing? Craig, you're one of my better followers. Thank you, man. Okay, you're serious. Late to the party. No, you're never late to the party. And it's no party. It's therapy for me. 4 girls. Grandmother, yeah. 11 children. My parents had 11 children, all family names. Actually, my parents started running out of names. The last one, they ran out of family names. And they named it, my brother, after Pope Paul VI. Because my dad said by then, after 10, he goes, you name the next one. That was their discussions. You're 64, huh? Canadian? Okay, cool. Cool. Hardworking people, man. Hardworking people. I hope you cut a deal with Trump. I'm sure you will. The NHL and the players want to make sure it's a fair deal. Tough sport, by the way. There's no better athlete except one other athlete that's as good or better than a hockey player. And you know who that is? Boxers and wrestlers. Because it's all self-made. Okay. Married 6 times, 7 kids. Good for you, man. Yeah, you lived a life. Okay. Granddad was last of 14 children. That's cool. I always thought when we had 11, I thought we had the record. And then I started hearing people have 12 kids, 14 kids, and so on. I was kind of like, I was shocked. But the key is, my father was so proud. One wife, no twins. Like it was a real stud. Yeah, it was pretty cool, man. Okay, Sarah, let me see here. Have a good evening. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, 10 brothers and sisters. We're all alive. My dad's will be 100 and still spry. My brother called me today telling me that my dad goes to the casino 3 times a week. And you know why I think he does it? Besides the math, because he's a brilliant mathematician and businessman. He was an entrepreneur. He knew numbers in his head. No calculators, no calculators. And I think he counts cards, but he doesn't tell anybody, I'm sure. Yeah. He should be proud. One wife, yeah. One wife. And you know what? My mother, she was one tough woman, man. And we didn't realize it till my dad retired at 65. He's greatest generation. Retired at 65 like the good old boys did, and women. And that's when we found out my mom was in control. We never thought that. You know, we always thought my mom was, you know, we would go to mom when we were in trouble. Ma, can you bail us out with dad? Later on, it was, you're on your own. I've had enough of you kids and your dad. I want to see the pets, the animals, the grandchildren, the great-grandchildren, and she surrounded herself with love. Yeah. Your dad was a great soul. Yeah. Well, that's how we got it. But you make a choice. You make a choice. If you decide to go with a mentor or someone that you believe in that has values and has integrity, not everybody's got integrity. You got choices. You know, you got choices. You want to have, if you're looking for trouble, I would look at it like personally, because I'd had friends that were in trouble. And you have that choice, especially in high school and grade school, which way you're going to go. Good guys, bad guys, whatever it is. And you could pick the good girls or the bad girls, you know? And you could decide. But I always had that guilt in my mind about confession. I really did. Even though I never got caught with shit, you know, my parents, I knew God knew. Yeah, some people go through, and I don't judge people who have multiple wives. I look at it like this. It's like my business. I have multiple clients. Some were good, some were bad. I thought I did all the right things by picking the right horse. I call it picking the right horse. Making the right choice. And then you find out that people change. People change. You can't control people. You can't control your kids. Think about it. Think about all the shit that goes on in the world and how many times you've been betrayed. How about your employer? How about your spouse? How about your brother, your sister, your parents at some time? I've been betrayed more than once, you know? But as I got more and more wisdom, I would pray a lot. I would read the Bible, the Proverbs and the Psalms, because they're really built for, you know, short readings and so on. And with AI, by the way, AI explains a lot of great things, you know, because I always ask AI about, can you explain the Proverbs? Let's just say today's the 20th, I believe. Proverb 20th, can you put that in layman's terms? Honest to God. And I listen to it through the audio. I could be brushing my teeth and listening to it and go, I may pick up one thing. Just like anything else in life. Sometimes you don't learn right away. sometimes the student shows up, you know, the teacher's always there, but the student, like me, I never show up. And that's what I started this. I started a lot of this is on YouTube because I've been basically a coach all my life, or a leader in sports when I was a kid. But I underestimated myself. I didn't have confidence, you know, until later on in life. And then I really realized through other people and my mentors and people that supported me say, Rock, man, you're a fucking leader. You got it. You got what it takes, man. And my expectations were always high on me. And then when I became an employer, I really pushed people to excel. And then I learned later in life that it's like anything other coach. You can't be a bully. You can't demotivate people. And some of the hardest lessons I learned, and I'm ready to tear up, is when I had to lay off people. That's a motherfucker, man, when you got to lay off people to survive, for the business to survive. Because the leader's got to make the choice. You got to help people. So, I could show as if I'm really a tough guy, but I'm not. It's just that I go back. I've always wanted to be a good dad, a good leader, a good son, a good friend. And sometimes you get fucked over. Then you have to make a choice. Sometimes you have to make a choice. And I think when I see special needs families, the sacrifices of the parents, the underprivileged, war. Can you imagine war? Can you imagine the Ukraine? Russia? I go back to Vietnam, back in the 70s when my brother served, and friends. I got friends that were killed. I was never drafted because I was in 1973. They discontinued the draft. And these poor kids, and the people that I know that are younger than me and their kids are joining the service instead of going to college. Wow. That's something. And then you got cheaters in public. What kind of shame is that on those kids and those wives and those families? If I was a parent and my son I was all proud of my daughter and proud of my son, talking them all up, and then this shit happens. But we are not here to judge other people. You know? So, my followers and my audience, I love the younger you are. You know why? Because you got a chance. Older guys like me, guess what? We're the smartest people in the room. In fact, in the auditorium. No, it's not. Yeah, I do care, as you can see. And of course, you don't want to talk about World War II because you're in the Central Europe, Eastern Europe, where I've been. And I've seen the forgiveness of those people, of especially the allies and the aggressors. I don't even want to say it because everybody knows. So, I appreciate everybody being on here. You mentioned blood, too much blood. And what's really unbelievable? The more you know about history and flags, the flags, the country's flag. Red always represents blood. Unbelievable. I never knew that. And I'm Italian and Polish. I like to know the meaning of the sacrifice. And then I visit Japan and I visit Vietnam, and I always look at the flag and what do they mean? What do those colors mean? It's serious shit. And it's all about the past, the sacrifices. So, I hope I'm coming through loud and clear. I'm using my phone. I'm trying to learn the best I can. How you doing, Roman? Rowan. I'm okay. I'm getting a little emotional because some people are hitting some my past. And where I've came out of the fire. They talk about the phoenix coming out of the fire. I've been in the fire more than once. And I've been thrown into the fire. And I didn't ask for it. It's just that I thought was as best as best. But I've learned so much from my parents that we have a lot of quotes. A lot of quotes about doing the right thing. Don't jump off the high bridge with your brother. Stay the course. Colors show. Think about that. Colors show. Don't we always discover who the good, the bad, and the ugly are? I have a question for you. Do people change? I was brought up where people don't change. I changed, and I believe people change. Yeah, people thought I was, my father always used to say, Rock, you should have been a deacon in the Catholic Church. No. Not only am I a sinner, I know too much about what's going on in the church, which I won't talk about. Yeah. That's right, man. Some people learn, some don't. And I'm still learning. And this is why it excites me. The younger you are, my followers, I call it my community. My brother would say it's your tribe. I just feel like I'm still 40, but I want to take these last 50 years of my career and my business and my divorces, roll it on a one and give it to you. And say, don't make the mistakes I did. And you know what's funny? It's not funny. You see it on TikTok every day. And I go, what a fucking idiot. But I'm not supposed to judge. But like I said, I feel sorry for the people, especially the kids that got to live with their fathers and their mothers' sins. It's terrible. And I have grandchildren. I don't want my grandchildren to, and that's one of the reasons why I went on YouTube and social media and video is this is my legacy. Papa Rock might have been crazy, but he was fun and he told the truth. And I've learned the truth many times, years later, just like Epstein or like JFK in the conspiracy and all the truth. I believe in karma, man. Eventually it's going to come back. What's worse is if you live through it because it is shame. That's when you got to go public and say, I admit it. I did smoke, or I did cheat, or I forfeit to get my integrity back. You can't bargain that. The only person that's going to forgive you is God. God's going to forgive you. You could say you forgive somebody, but everybody knows you don't forget, you know? Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Craig, I know it's tough, man. I've already said that. It's a gift to forgive from God, but it's really not our job to forgive someone. It's God's, and that's when they have to ask for forgiveness. You know, whoever their God is. You know, that's how I look at it. But this wasn't here to kind of lecture. I thought I was going to answer some questions. Now you're helping me. I don't have to call Dr. Craig this week. Oh, man. You know, I think YouTube is very therapeutic. I really do. Because I give a point of view. And I have an owner conservative mind of a businessman, okay? But I've been a blue collar worker and raised in blue collar to poor to, so I understand. And I worked in production. I worked with production people of all nationalities. And once I became a leader and employer, you have to be so thankful that these people, and my father taught me that too in business, was the people come first. The people always come first. So when I see UPS and when I see USPS and I see these cheaters and all this other shit, who in the fuck are you to treat people that way? But you have to still take care of yourself. That's another thing. Don't idolize anyone. You can respect people, but you don't idolize anybody. You idolize God. That's how I look at it. You know? I used to, in a way, idolize my parents. And then I realized, my parents are only human. I can respect them. Honor your mother and your father. I have done that. Okay? And the other thing that I idolized when I was young was money. Okay, I'm going to be a millionaire. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Oh, man. Okay? That's a sin, by the way, when you idolize something beyond God. Okay? Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I want you to challenge me, though. What's next for me? Come on. I don't want to be a lecturer. My kids used to say that. Dad, you're trying to control me. I used to tell my kids, listen, as a single man, because I was single in between their mother and another marriage, 22 years. And my mistress was a business. Why? I had to afford and show them that I'm a worker. This is my example to you that not only am I a worker, I'm a fucking winner. And I got people that listen to me and appreciate me, and I help them with their families. And when I sold my 2 businesses, I made sure to say thank you to everybody. And there was some type of gifting from me. Do you think the buyers did that shit? Fuck no. That's when I realized I did something with my life. You know? When you can achieve a goal that kind of was something, it was a dream, and then you achieve it. It's kind of like those athletes when they say, hey, I won the Stanley Cup, I won the Olympic gold medal, I won the Super Bowl. You don't do that stuff alone. You don't do that alone. You need help. Wow. All right, don't fade on me. Is anyone else crying because I'm crying? Hey, it's going to be okay. Should I come back? Oh, Epstein, the conspiracy? I'm going to be honest with you. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. I don't care who was part of that conspiracy. We just know he was a bad guy. And I'm thankful that my daughter wasn't part of that shit. Okay? And I don't follow that. Why? Because it's not important to our country. It's not important to the world. It's only important to some people, and they're worried about their reputations or whatever it is. Okay? The truth will come out. The truth will come out. Not in our lifetime, probably. You know? And who cares? Who fucking cares? Wow. Do you think, I got a question about Amazon and are they going to take care of their people? I don't know the valuation, not the valuation. I don't understand the values of Mr. Bozo. Oh, excuse me, Bezos. He had a hell of a wedding, right? Did he take care of his people, his drivers? I don't think that's happening. How about his ex-wife? Now that was class. He cheated. She took the money and ran, and guess what she did with it? Philanthropy. Yes, philanthropy. Now that's class. That's class. And she walked away, nothing said. Nothing said. Good for her. The new wife? You don't think there was a prenup? Look at their histories. How many times was she married? What do they call that? A strategic relationship? You know what strategic relationships are? You can't say somebody's a whore. You can't say somebody's a breadwinner or he's just out for sex. No, that's not the right words to use. You say it was a strategic relationship. And you know what? The intention was there on both parties. On both parties. But what a shame. They're going to live with it. Who cares? You know? Yeah. It's sad. It's sad. You know, I started coming out kind of heavy about being a divorce strategist because I got experience. I'm almost at the point where I could say, I told you so. But you know what? Everybody's case is independent of each other. Independent of each other. You know, my wife, my first wife, has a reason to say goodbye to me. And she paid the price. I paid financially and I paid other ways, but I'm okay with it. My second wife, I had to ask for the breakup. Why? Many reasons. And it's over. And even though I had everything set and I thought I had everything correct, being Catholic and everything, and doing what I thought was all the right things, sometimes things don't happen that way. Don't forget, Jesus was crucified by his own team, by his own father. So I've been burnt. It's hard, but now I just kind of reduce my risks. Risk. Why take a risk on somebody? Why take a risk on a relationship? But just be friends, man. Just be friends and see what happens. I'm not in. My risk right now is with you, my team, my tribe, my community, and I'm just gonna try to keep communicating the best I can. Yeah, I got thick skin, man. I call it kicked in the balls. I got a book that says, I had a ghostwriter put it together for me, and I would tell him about how many times I was kicked in the balls, and he goes, God, and he put it in as a sentence, that they're the size of watermelons. So I always got that in my mind. So when I get kicked, usually verbally today, okay, it doesn't bother me. When you get older, you start to really understand that people could be envious of you, jealous of you. And it's 10 Commandments. Thou shalt not covet your neighbor's wife. Thou shalt not covet your neighbor's goods. That's number 9 and number 10. Honor your mother and your father. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Think about this shit. Tell me, the older you get. And so now it's like, oh my God, it's normal. It's normal. Okay? So I did not know I was going to talk about this stuff. I actually thought I was going to talk more about business and career change and a buyout that you're offered. Boy, people want to talk about relationships. I can do that. Because I was in sales and marketing. So, oh man, I got to know a lot of people, especially business owners. And I'll tell you, these people are all about themselves, man. And I was brought up where you needed to be a giver, a philanthropist. You help other people. I've already achieved my financial goals. I've already achieved my dreams. Now it's my health. God, give me another 20 years of trying to help people. I'll do it on YouTube. So when I die, this is evergreen. My kids got it forever. My grandkids and generations, they go, Papa Rock, he was a piece of work. Yeah, where did I get my personality? I got my mind from my father. I got my personality from my mother. Yeah, and I look like my mother, Polish. I don't look Italian, even though all our traditions were Italian. Yeah, I give blood. Let me mention how I give blood. I was having some exams on my blood. And my doctor said, hey, Rock, you got celiac disease. You got to go gluten-free last August. So they started testing me every other month, 3 months, whatever. And then my doctor, even though he's only in his early 50s, he retired. And he went to help his father in Colorado. And I thought, oh, my God. I had a great doctor, great site. I had him for over 20 years. He's an internist. And his referrals were right on, and so on. And so I got this new guy, and you know what? I liked him, even though he's a Philadelphia Eagle fan. I went, okay, Philadelphia Eagles. And that's how kind of weird I am about sports. And I liked him after a while because he suggested to me, he goes, Rock, you should donate blood. I says, why is that? I'm worried about my hygiene and stuff. He goes, no, it's not like that anymore. Donate blood. It's going to be like an oil change. And you know what? I went in. First of all, you have to qualify. Sometimes you don't qualify. So I qualified. You saw on the YouTube, I put a little Led Zeppelin on. I listened to some music. The people were great. It was clean. It was professional. And guess what? It cleaned me out to whatever the so-called plaque they were thinking about. I'm like gold, man. You know, it's like, wow. So every 8 to 12 weeks, rock and roll, man. And guess what? I don't have celiac disease at this point. Why? Because they advise gluten-free food, and that's what I've been doing. You know? Okay. Yes, finances. You know, one thing about baby boomers, such as myself, because there's still a lot of guys that I know that are still working. And the ones that are retired, usually physical labor workers that retired with the government or USPS or something, you know, where you got a pension. Health problems, man. That's one thing my father taught me was health. Moderation, no smoking, no alcohol. Moderation, you know, Chianti doesn't count, okay? No guns. You know, otherwise we'd shoot each other. I mean, serious shit. And I take care of myself. I walk a lot now. I don't lift like I did in the past or run. I don't run anymore. It's more walks. I do my YouTubes. The other thing I took up in October of this year is I bowl. I go bowling. And I got a coach, you know? And I picked up this book, Bowling for Dummies. Why? Because I'm a dummy in bowling. I used to be a 7 handicap golfer. I was golfing all the time in business, and I said, fuck, 4 hours of this, and you got to go drinking after and suck up to somebody to get an order. Pfft, that's over. So I donated my clubs to Gary Player and Jack Nicholson's for underprivileged kids, gave everything away, you know, and I was happy. You know, I was happy with that. But I wanted to do something different to keep physically active. What I like about bowling is very strategic. It's very precision. There's a lot to it, man. Your hands, your wrists, your steps, your approach, as they call it. Oh, it reminds me a lot of golf. And so it's and it breaks the routine, you know, walking and stuff. And the other thing I like about it is you could go bowling when you want. And it's indoors. Rain, snow, whatever. In Florida, it's whatever. I just show up. Sometimes I'll take a walk, go to Starbucks, have a cup of coffee, go bowling. And I got goals. I measure them. There's always apps and so on, okay? Yeah. Oh, you're after, okay. You're older, okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I got 7 brothers, 3 sisters. And I got 2 daughter-in-laws, 1 son-in-law. I could tell you who's in shape and who's not in shape. And there's a lot of problems right now. There's always an issue of, oh, I got to get some stints. I got to take care of my teeth, which I did. I mean, there's always something. There's always something. And so, man, grab it while you can. You know how they say about retirement? Get in as early as you can. Nobody's talking about get your health in gear. And what if you're in a bad marriage, man? Oh, my God. Yeah. You need a fitness plan. Besides a financial plan, you need a fitness plan. And I travel and I go on tours and I travel a lot. Don't wait to travel. In fact, I am going to Vietnam for the 2nd time this year. And I'll get in shape. Just in my mind, I'll go down. We got a little fitness in our condo area. I work on my legs because I walk. Bowling's good for the feet. I wash my feet. I get manicures. I get pedicures. I get massages. I go to a chiropractor when I want for prevention. And my dad's 100. My mother passed at 94. I got a good chance of another 20 years. And you know that 22-year gap I had between marriages? I figure I got a grace period another 22 years. So I'll be in my 90s if I marry again. Okay. Yeah. Yep. At the same time, you're raising a family. People are looking for you, for leadership, especially a son, a daughter, Your parents are getting older. I am so thankful my brothers are my dad's caregiver. And he's really not he's an independent living. He's got a lot of vanity and a lot of pride, and his goal is 120. Yeah. Okay? And so when I see my father telling me he's got goals, why not? Why not? Don't be afraid of shit, man. Because if you have regrets, you're really screwed. You're really screwed. The other thing is, don't expect everything tomorrow. It's the long game. Everything's the long game. Investments are long game. Your career is a long game. Your parenting's a long game. Your divorce, relationships is a long game. All that shit. 20, 30 pounds, you can do it. If I didn't move to Florida and change my nutrition, I'd be over 200 pounds. No doubt. Because I was drinking, eating. I'm Italian, man. Servicing clients, taking them out to eat all the time, eating, drinking. Okay. Enjoy the money. Damn right you want to enjoy the money. Now, was this worthwhile? That's what I want to know. And are my YouTubes worthwhile? If there's anything else I should talk about, we're coming up to an hour. I'll put it on my my live. But this is very helpful. I want to thank everybody. And the other thing that I want to mention is I'm trying to monetize. I'm halfway there in less than a year. And there's 120 million channels, my understanding. And of course, I got goals. I want to get monetized, okay? And I'm not going to give up. I'm going to keep on going. I got my second book coming out. If you go on my website, rocklamanna.com, you can see all my publications. They start with taking care of yourself personally, how to buy a business, how to sell a business, how to take care of yourself, my memoir, all that. Okay? These are all teaching guides on my 50 years. I couldn't do it all the same. Because when I deal with clients, I always ask them about their family. I ask them about their relationships. I ask them about, are you estranged? Did you play sports? I mean, there's so much to talk about. Oh, one last item on weight. You know, my doctor, I told you I just retired. He says, Rock, you don't worry about the weight. You worry about the waist. W-A-I-S-T. Good point. Okay? Don't worry about the weight. The other thing is I drink 50%. My body is water weight. I measure myself, my weight. Water is more important than anything else, especially when you get older like me. Okay? Rosemont. I'm from St. Paul. Cool. Oh, yeah. USPS, watch out, man. They're going to shut down facilities, but they're building distribution centers. Watch their commercials. Go on Google and look up USPS is on LinkedIn, too. You can follow them and everything. UPS is a sleeper. If you want your kids not to join the service, have them join USPS, especially you keep in shape. I'm telling you. I'm glad you know that. Hey, my brothers tease me because they know I'm small compared to them. They always used to be the best looking ones. You know, we'd have family pictures. Go, God, your sons, Verge and Carlo, your sons and your family, they're all so good looking. And I would look at my brothers and go, yeah, but I'm the smart one. Hey, man, I'm going to cut out. You want to see me next week or follow it up or what? You could always get back to me. Let me know. Let me know what I should talk about, and I'll come back on. I hope this is useful, man. Okay? Don't count calories. The other thing is, make sure you're taking the right, not medications, the right minerals. What do you call those? Minerals. I don't know. I got a bunch of them here. Like D3 and all that other shit. Okay? Couple lives a week? Are you shitting me? Maybe more on the advice in your history. You want to know, Tony? Hey, Tony. Oh, my God. Tony. Tony's one of my buddies from grade school. We used to play hockey together. He's another guy that I never grew from ninth grade, you know? And then I was always like 5'9", 5'10". And then all of a sudden in ninth grade, and I was like a superstar. I thought I was a superstar in sports in grade school. Then I go to high school, and then you got all these guys 6'2", 6'3". And I was intimidated. I lost my confidence. Tony's one of those guys that beat me up. But Tony read my book, my memoir. It's in, hey, the people from Minnesota, my memoir's in the Dakota County Library. Check it out. It's called They Named You Right. And I got a second book coming out, and then a bunch of guides from business related under rocklamanna.com. Yeah, vitamins. Thanks, Greg. I don't even know what I'm doing sometimes. If the doctor says, Rock, you need some D3, you're getting older, okay. You need some magnesium, okay, I'll take it, you know? All right. There's a lot of, in fact, Tony went through a lot in his life, health-wise, at a very young age, and thank God they found out. And what did he turn to? They found out at the Mayo, and then they found out that the best thing for him to do was take care of his body, start lifting weights. Guess what his deal is now? Besides taking care of grandchildren and a long-term marriage, he works out. Good for him, man. So, okay. Watch yourself this week. I might come back next week. Just say hello again. Maybe something else will happen next week to you and the world. And let's hope that things get better in our economy, for our employees, you know. And, you know, the other thing is, you know, this guy that the CEO, they just let go for behavior issues. Don't feel sorry for guys like that. They got, he breached his contract. And the board of directors is a private company, so they could do what they want. You know, they picked the wrong horse. They thought they had this great guy, and they didn't check into his due diligence. What do they do at USPS? What do they do at FedEx? If you went out for a fucking job, what are they going to ask you? Drug test, any felonies, past history. In the real world, it's hire slowly, fire quickly. Well, some guys are just plain stupid and ruin their lives, and not only their own personal lives, their families. Think about that. Think about what these sons and daughters are thinking about their parents. God. Yeah, it's pretty tough out there, man. And if you're working for a public company, anything goes, man. I still call it the NFL. You're out there for their money, their wealth, not the employees. And I'm going to have to tell you, I was never a union guy, but I know union people, that retired and that were in unions, it never really worked out. You know, it's what they promised. That's all I'm going to say. Okay? So anyway, hey, God bless you guys. I'll see you next week. I'll put something out there. And I'm thinking Sunday before football. Hey, I'm a big fantasy football, my grandson. My team is Papa Rock. I'm a big Raider fan. I'm really big on the Raiders this year, man, because I think they got the right team, the right coach. They got the right quarterback. Even though Raiders, yeah, I'm traditional. I'm a Yankee fan too, so I hate to tell everybody, you know. But even though I'm from Minnesota, why did I do that? Because I liked the ownership of George Steinbrenner and L. Davis back in the 70s when I was a kid. I wasn't a Yankee fan. Twins were okay because my kids were Twins fans. And when my kids, I brought them to the World Series and all that, they're still Twins fans. My other son, they're a Brewer fan, Milwaukee fan, too. Raider Nation. Hey, I got to go, man. What is it? It's 66 minutes. The Vikings, I was never a Viking fan, Tony. You know that. Why? They had 11 owners when we were kids, and they couldn't make a fucking decision. I could care less they were in the Super Bowl. They're losers. I want to be a winner, and I want you to be a winner. You got to think like a winner. You got to have the mindset. You got to go for it. You got to build yourself, prepare yourself to be a winner. God bless you guys. I'll see you next week.